My name is Daisy James, so I am one of the course advisors for our online and blended MSc in International Fashion Marketing here at the University of Manchester. So I work very closely with my colleague Xiaomin over in Shanghai, and our roles are really to offer some support and guidance at every stage of your application journey so that you can make that informed decision as to whether or not the course is the right fit for you. So today I'm joined by Dr. Patsy Perry. So she is our course director for the MSc in International Fashion Marketing here at the University of Manchester, and she's senior lecturer in fashion marketing in the Department of Materials. So today Patsy's going to talk to you a little bit about how retailers are adapting and becoming more agile in the way that they think and market their brands. She's also going to highlight how the consumer mindset has changed and is continuing to change. And then she'll finish off by giving a brief insight into kind of the MSc in International Fashion Marketing. I'll also be talking about the support that's on offer to you as a student should you choose to join us in September. So without further ado, I'm going to hand you over to Patsy, who's going to kick off today's webinar.
Thank you, Daisy. Hi, everybody. Welcome. My pleasure to speak to you today, working from home. So I'm a senior lecturer in fashion marketing at Manchester University, where I've worked for a number of years. I'm also a researcher. So my research is around corporate social responsibility and sustainability in the fashion industry, supply chain management, and also luxury fashion. So I've had my work published in academic journals, as worked with industry. I've been featured in the media, and I've also appeared on TV in the UK a couple of times talking about sustainable fashion. So it's a really important topic now, and I'm glad to see that we are discussing these things in the mainstream. So that's a little bit about me. What I'm going to talk to you about today is really how has the fashion retail industry changed in the face of coronavirus, the global pandemic. So it's had an unprecedented effect on people, businesses, all industries, the health services in terms of people having to, really change their lifestyles, and all non-essential businesses have been shuttered. So as fashion is a non-essential business, we could argue, how is the fashion industry adapted to this new global health crisis? And what things are consumers thinking about, and how is fashion serving the new consumer mindset? So shopping as leisure has kind of significantly dropped off now. So all shops are shut, we can't go out anymore, we are socially distancing. Some people are starting to shop online a little bit more, so some retailers are still continuing to trade with online if they do e-commerce. But for sure, we could also argue that actually there's a lot less need for fashion with this new stay-at-home lifestyle. So what are the types of fashion products that consumers need and want right now? Where some people have been furloughed from their jobs or are facing risk of redundancy in certain industries, then they have also financial worries to consider. So fashion as a kind of non-essential product has really slipped down the priority list. So although in some countries the lockdown has eased a little bit, globally, the fashion industry is really still struggling because of the stopping of shopping. So we might say that actually fashion is quite a frivolous industry compared with some of the frontline health sectors and so on. But we have to remember that fashion industry is one of the world's most important creative industries. It has a significant impact on bringing us joy, the ability to express ourselves, even with fast fashion, the democratization of fashion to make products available to everybody, regardless of their income levels. And it also has a great employment in terms of retail workers, artists, designers, seamstresses, factory workers, and so on. So it is a huge global employer. So you have to remember the importance of the fashion industry, that it's not just about buying new things that maybe are less important nowadays, but what are the wider implications? So what have some retailers been doing then? So some retailers have actually been very, very agile in terms of adjusting their production away from garment manufacture into helping the National Health Services in producing protective equipment because of the great need of hospital scrubs and so on for frontline workers, and being able to just come in and help with that and transfer their factories. So some of the retailers that have done that, we've seen that in luxury. Luxury retailers have also adapted some of the perfume and beauty factories into producing hand sanitizer, so on. And there's been an incredible pride in doing something to help. And the other point about this is that they can then arguably still continue to trade, because the production of protective equipment is an essential service, whereas the production of fashion is a non-essential service. So we're seeing many retailers such as Zara converted its factories in Spain to create hospital gowns. Hering, luxury group parent company of Saint Laurent, Balenciaga and Gucci, is also making protective equipment. Mulberry in the UK, many more, LVMH, luxury goods group as well, and also Prada in Italy. So we can see that businesses can still keep going by adapting the factories to make different products. But what about brands that can't just make different products? What else can they do? So we have to remember that fashion is really about creating objects of desire, giving people joy, giving people avenues for self-expression. So another thing that we've seen is that a number of businesses have actually been donating products to bring some joy to those frontline workers who are helping to save people and help them in terms of doing those essential jobs in hospitals and so on. So we can see here Sophia Webster, the luxury shoe brand, favourite of many celebrities, has actually said that they're going to give out a free pair of their flyby trainers to first responders and people working in the health service. The bridal group Pronovius has offered to give hospital staff, so not just doctors, but cleaners, janitors, cafeteria workers, any staff that are working in hospitals around the world who are currently engaged, they would like to offer them a wedding dress. And we can see the campaign here, where they've used the image of the two hands making a heart shape, but actually the two hands, you'll see if you look closely, are wearing protective gloves. Allbirds, the American sustainable footwear brand, is also offered to donate shoes to workers in healthcare, and they had an overwhelming response to that. And in the end, they donated $500,000 worth of shoes to frontline workers. So the campaign was so successful that after that they decided to do buy one and donate one for the future. And Lydia May, which is a luxury handbag brand with a social purpose, based in Dhaka, Bangladesh. So as well as doing essential works on the front line, helping communities in Dhaka, Bangladesh, another thing they've done is on their website, they've said that for essential workers, we're so grateful for your dedication and inspired by your courage to protect us on the front lines, that we would like to offer you a $200 discount on any handbag that you would like. So trying to bring some joy, some kind of nice products to people. So, in these times of crisis, we don't just need the essential things, but we kind of want some frivolous things as well to bring us some good cheer. Social media marketing. So in the face of the crisis, influencer marketing has dropped significantly. So the use of key opinion leaders and social media influencers to push products on social media has significantly dropped. So what are brands doing instead? We're seeing quite a big movement in terms of bringing kindness, so creating campaigns that are based on joy, kindness, rather than just promoting products. So we can see here Aspinall of London, the English luxury lifestyle company that makes shoes and bags and notebooks and so on. They did a campaign called Nominate Your Hero. So anyone could nominate anyone that they thought was doing an amazing job, and they would then reward them by sending them a personalised gift. And again, that led to a lot of user-generated content and a lot of engagement on social media. So these heroes could come in any shapes and sizes. It's not just doctors, but it could be somebody that's helping in the community, somebody that's helping to make a difference, and they would like to reward them. So that was a really well-received campaign. Fashion retailer French Connection started doing a campaign called Tuesday Treats. So teaming up with other brands who they could then, you could nominate somebody, tag them in the comments on Instagram, and they would randomly choose people to receive a surprise treat from their friends, i.e. other brands. So here we've got Philip Kingsley, celebrity hairdresser and salon owner. So again, some nice hair care products that somebody could potentially receive. And then Lulu Guinness, the British handbag and accessories designer, similarly did their act of kindness campaign. So again, asking their community to nominate people who had gone over and above to help the community in the times of crisis, whether that's delivering orders to people who are socially isolating, looking after neighbours, or working for the NHS, the National Health Service in the UK, working in the supermarkets, those essential services, and again sending them a gift bag that they might like, and again generated lots of really nice user generated content. Those retailers that are continuing to trade in their normal product categories have had to adjust. So the retailers that have done really well in this area are the ones that have a really strong understanding of who their consumer is, that understanding of the target consumer, their wants, their needs, their lifestyles, and they're able to then adapt the ranges with strong agility to offer the consumer and merchandise new kind of products that they need. So, we don't need clothes for going out anymore, but we still might want to buy new things. So things like loungewear, athleisure, comfortable things, which are still kind of bring us some joy for staying at home. So Manchester-based fast fashion retailer Boohoo has seen significant sales growth from continuing to trade and adapting its merchandise offer to its new consumer lifestyle of staying at home. Similarly, Fashion Nova in the US, again, adapting that offering to things that we might want to wear at home. So not really, party dresses and high heels, but kind of glamorous loungewear. Although we're not going to the office, we still have meetings. So many people are still working from home in whichever way they're able to. So there's been quite a big demand for kind of nice tops and earrings that are suitable for video conferencing. Of course, shoes, trousers and so on doesn't really matter because we can't see those, but when people are going on video calls, they still want to look professional, look the best, feel confident, and things that they can accessorize with. So earrings, nice tops and nice jumpers. So again, that's another category that's kind of risen in demand recently. And although we're not going out socializing, we can also use technology for socializing. So as well as video conferencing for work, we can do video calls for social reasons as well. So again, there is some potential for brands to still keep trading and offer people products that they might need or want for this kind of new technology mediated socializing. And then finally, how do we still connect with consumers during lockdown? So many brands are doing lots of work around branding, creating communities, relationship marketing, so building strong relationships with consumers, which are more than just selling them products, but kind of locking them into that kind of brand lifestyle, that identity, the brand family. So a lot of this would have been done via physical events, celebrity endorsements and so on, but how does this work when we're now at home? So some brands have been particularly innovative and creative in this area. For example, Nike has used its network of professional amateur athletes to run challenges, tutorials and live workout classes for its community who are now staying at home. So the community still wants to stay active, but they just need different things. And it's a way of building engagements and building that kind of excitement and making people still feel part of the brand lifestyle. Ganni is a Scandinavian sustainable luxury fashion brand, and they've been doing what started out as just a fun thing on Instagram for their own staff, again working from home, posting their outfits and what they were wearing. But this gained quite a lot of traction on social media, and in the end the consumers and their followers were also interested to take part in this challenge. So it's a way of encouraging creativity during strange times in consumers and making consumers feel part of something, and also fueling that kind of loyalty, long-term relationships. So consumers can also be attracted to brands that maybe they haven't considered before during this corona crisis, but they may see that these brands are doing some interesting things around community engagement, building those brand values and making people feel part of something, not just pushing product. So similarly, London-based sustainable fashion designer Christopher Rayburn has been running guest live talks on social media with interesting guest speakers. For example, here, the first 2 episodes were around creativity and how disruption can lead to creativity and how we can use disruption in a positive way to spur on creativity. So this kind of conversation, interaction and community building is a way of relationship marketing, and can build, you know, strong connections for the future. So in the future, consumers are going to remember those brands that did interesting things, that, you know, served a purpose, that did more than just encouraging people to buy products. So it's moving away from that hard sell, pushing products, to building a community, relationship marketing, innovating and being creative, whether that's around sports activity, kind of art and design, creative things, or, you know, whatever is relevant to the brands. So that was just a bit of you know, an overview of what's happening. Again, if you're interested in this area, do keep an eye out about what brands are doing in your part of the world. Are they doing similar things? Are they doing different things? How are consumers responding? But for sure, there's, you know, a lot of talk right now about how consumers are going to remember which brands acted well during coronavirus, so which brands did positive things towards the coronavirus, or which brands did particularly innovative and creative things around community building, and those are the brands that they're going to veer towards afterwards. So it's a good way in terms of gaining more consumers, building loyalty, and, you know, remaining competitive, and being ready for a world after the coronavirus. So we're going to talk now a little bit about, well, Daisy's going to talk to you now about the support that we offer for online learning. Just to give you a quick recap, the MSc in International Fashion Marketing is our new version of a part-time distance learning program, which is launching in September. So it's a 2-year part-time program based on our suite of on-campus programs, which have been very successful. We have hundreds of graduates worldwide, and they've been running for, you know, over 15 years. And now we've decided, you know, quite conveniently at this time to launch a distance learning version for people that may want to work towards a master's degree, but, you know, don't want to give up their job or, you know, their other commitments, and want to kind of combine those 2 things together rather than studying full time. So I'll hand you over to Daisy now. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Patsy. I hope everyone found that insightful. So if we move on to the next slide, that would be great, and I can kind of talk to you about the support that is on offer if you choose to join us in September. One thing I do want to kind of flag before I go into the bullet points you can see on the screen is, as an online learner, you will receive the same level of support and teaching as our on-campus students do. So just because you'll be studying remotely the majority of the time, it doesn't mean you're alone. You'll be part of a fantastic online community, and you will receive fantastic support from our academics and from our wellbeing teams here at the University of Manchester. So if I could just briefly go into the support that you have if you choose to join us in September. So you have a committed course advisor who is myself and my colleague Xiaomin, who's based in Shanghai, and our role is to really offer that support and guidance at the very beginning of your decision journey. We're here to answer questions that you have about the application process, the course itself, so that you can really make that informed decision as to whether or not you will join us in September. once you join us, so should you choose to accept an offer and get a place on the programme, you'll have a dedicated study advisor who is similar to myself and Xiaomin. They'll be on hand to offer non-academic support during your studies. So anything you have with regards to questions about technical support, in terms of payments, they'll be on hand to really offer that support and guidance for you. You'll have world-class academics, so Patsy and her team will offer direction throughout the course via discussion boards on Blackboard. So like I said about the online community, they're a real great way for you to connect with our academics, but also to connect with your cohort as well. You'll be assigned an academic tutor, so they'll be on hand to answer any questions and provide some feedback on your progress, so you can really see where you're getting in terms of progress and things like that in terms of your degree. You'll have student support from our student wellbeing teams at the University of Manchester, and they are absolutely fantastic. So like I said, just because you're studying online doesn't mean that you'll receive less support from our fantastic teams. So one thing I'll do after this webinar is actually send you, if you were unable to join us earlier in the week, a recording of our wellbeing webinar. So that will give you an insight into the great initiatives that our university have in place for you as a student, either online or on campus, it doesn't matter. Like I said, the second to last bullet point, you'll have opportunities to connect and learn with your online cohort as well. You'll be part of a super international cohort, which I think is great. You can build your network, you can talk through online communities via discussion boards, which I think is really important to get the best out of the degree. And you'll have access to the University of Library. So this will obviously be online, but you'll have access the same way our on-campus students do to learning materials in order for you to really reach your goals and get the best out of this degree. So I hope that really gives you an insight into the support that you have should you choose to join us. And obviously any questions that you have at this point of your decision journey, please do get in touch with us. That's what we're here for. Thanks, Patsy. So
are you going to do this one?
Yeah, I'll do this one. Thanks, Patsy. So in terms of discounts, so I do want to let you know about an early application discount. So we've extended this deadline due to everything that's going on at the moment. We know times are quite hard for everyone, and kind of sitting down and writing an application might be the last thing that's on your mind, but we've pushed this deadline back to really help you out. So it's a 10% tuition fee discount, which will be £1,950. To be eligible for this discount, you must submit a completed application form on or before the Thursday, the 25th of June. And if you're successful, if you're offered a place, then you need to accept and pay the £1,000 reservation fee by the deadline in the offer letter, which is usually around 4 weeks from the date of offer. We also offer various other discounts. So we have University of Manchester Alumni Bursary. So this is 15% tuition fee discount. So if you've successfully graduated from a degree at the University of Manchester or UMIST, you'll receive an alumni loyalty bursary, which is 15% off the overall tuition fees. We have a third discount, which is an upfront payment discount. So this is 9% off the overall tuition fees, which is a total of £1,755. If you submit the full payment of the course, which is £19,500, you'll be eligible for this discount. We operate on a one discount policy, so you will only be entitled to kind of the highest amount of the discounts available to you. Fantastic. So we are now at the end of our webinar. So thank you so much for joining. As mentioned, my name's Daisy James and I work very, very closely with our course counsellor and marketing officer, Xiaomin, who's based in Shanghai. So Xiaomin and I are really here to support you in terms of your application journey and your decision-making process. So please do get in touch with me. I can see some people on the call today I have been in conversation with already, so it's great to have you here today. But please do get in touch, discuss your options. It does really help, especially at the very beginning stages of your application journey. We do have a provisional date booked in for an insight session on the virtual learning environment. So the environment that you'll be using kind of when you join us in September, if you choose to do so, we'll be walking you through that so you can get a real feel and insight into what to expect should you choose to join the MSc in International Fashion Marketing. This, like I said, is a provisional date. I will reach out to you again in due course if things change, and obviously with a link to join our virtual learning environment demonstration. Great, so we've now got a few minutes for Q&A, and I know some of you have just sent some emails to me. So with regards to those emails, I know we're conscious of time. I will get back to you in due course once I've sat down with Patsy, but we have had a few questions that I can cover today. So one of the questions is when should I apply? So it's a really good question. As we've covered the discounts available to you, we would highly recommend submitting your application before the 25th of June, just so that you would be entitled and eligible for the early application discount. The course is proving to be extremely popular, so I would submit an application sooner rather than later, just so that you can secure your place to join us in September. Should you have questions, like I said, do get in touch. So the next question I think we've got time for is who can I contact regarding my application? So obviously I've covered and talked about who myself and Xiaomin are. We are your dedicated course advisors, so get in touch with us. We can provide you with all sorts of information about the course structure. What I will do, and what I want to just flag before we end today's webinar, is I'll send you all of the recordings of our previous webinars if you've not joined us before. This will give you a real insight into the course in a bit more detail and what you can really expect when you study with us. So unfortunately, that is all we have time for. We're bang on 12 o'clock, so here in the UK anyway. Thank you so much for joining. Patsy, thank you as always for your time. Please do get in touch. I'll email you this afternoon with a few links to various different things, but I really do hope you found today useful and insightful, and we look forward to hopefully welcoming you on the course in September. Bye everyone.
Bye.